Frank Schuil. What are the big trends in the crypto at the moment?
One is the regulatory environment that is changing because of the FATF regulation that is coming out, which every local regulator has to implement. Another big trend is the emergence of stable coins, most infamously in a way coined by Libra, Facebook's initiative, where they want to create a stable coin to create a more stable cryptocurrency for people to actually use cryptocurrency for payments as opposed to other cryptos that are more volatile. And the other trend I would say is decentralized finance, or in short, DeFi, which is a new ecosystem of applications that are entirely built on the protocols themselves without any connection to traditional financial systems or the financial world.
Okay. So we see like can we talk about it like a second wave for crypto now since it's been more accessible?
Depends how early you started in crypto. For me, it will be the third wave. So I think there's the first wave of commercial scalability and like maturity was in around 2013, where you saw the initial venture capitalists enter. Then it became all blockchain around 2014, and we saw an emergence of the crypto. The second wave in my book, when you had the ICO craziness in 2017, where people were issuing their own coins on top of other protocols, which also came with a lot of scams. Now, the third wave, I think we are entering, and it's really by the regulatory maturity that we're entering. And through that, there's going to be more professional companies coming to market, which will then enter this wave where we're seeing, I think, a myriad of decentralized finance applications come to market, which will hopefully then go support the payment use case, which to date, it's been more speculation. And that's what we're going to see in the years ahead.
So we'll see less speculation, more actual usage of it, or
that's hopefully what we're going to see. Yes, that's what I'm anticipating.
So does that mean that we will? There's been quite a bit of bad mouthing surrounding crypto, and will that disappear? You think now?
Not for some time, and of course there are a lot of things that did go wrong. Like if you look at something like OneCoin, where billions have been raised for something that was promoted as a cryptocurrency, but it was in fact not a cryptocurrency. So it's mostly the misinformation and people abusing it that has created this negative image. There is a lot of innovation happening, and there's a lot of great teams that are building the future of finance, but it takes time for that to seep into wider adoption and then clean up the act of crypto, and it's obviously the initial response from traditional finance is to first put a lid on it, to control it, and to make sure that there's no exposure in terms of money laundering and terrorist financing. And then through this maturity, then new use cases can come to light who can pass that filter, if you will. So it will take some time, is what I'm saying.
So yeah. What examples will we see coming ahead then?
So a good example of a cool project, I think, is the DAI stable coin, where people can basically leverage crypto and they can lock in crypto to then use it as well in other platforms. So it's entirely baked into the platform where people are lending assets against each other, and there's no other financial construct connected to it. Other things that are cool is that there's going to be something called NFT, non-fungible tokens, where there's a property assigned to a coin that can then be traded in a unique way with each other. So, for instance, in gaming, you could have gaming items that are being traded against each other. And already we're seeing that with companies. I'm trying to remember the name. You see that in Decentraland, where they're selling digital properties that all have this unique characteristic, and you're also seeing in an equivalent of Magic the Gathering, where there's a card game where you can also have these unique properties, and people are trading these cards that all are connected to that NFT. So that is cool. On the top of my head, I haven't really checked on the recent things, but there's plenty of innovation, and I think a lot of it is around stable coins, and a lot of it is also around gambling. But there's still interesting constructs that are built around the gambling. For instance, the lottery kind of setups where everybody participates and the payouts are automated. So there's a complete transparent protocol on how a lottery takes place, for instance. And even though that's maybe not the use case that ultimately we're interested in, there's experimentation there that can go into other future applications that do have, more beneficial properties for society.
So we're approaching Stockholm Fintech Week, and you think you yourself will not be attending. However, you played a central role last year, and you think the things we've discussed now, do you think those are the main topics that will be addressed?
I think it will a lot be about the regulatory environment around crypto and blockchain. And I think the difference between blockchain applications and the different varieties of that, I think that's going to be probably dominating it, the regulatory discussions. But hopefully there's going to be a lot of discussion about the use cases and how it's going to be adopted and what is going to be adopted. So I hope it's going to be a bit of both.
Okay, thank you.